Hello and welcome. Today I get the privilege of, well, I guess I should first introduce myself. My name is Troy Whitehead and I'm part of the Crossroads communications team. And like I was saying, today I get the privilege of interviewing Kendra Berniko. And Kendra has a very important role to play here. I'll just pass it over to her. Kendra, introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about what you do.
So yeah, my name is Kendra. So I started coming to Crossroads about 13 years ago. My husband and I moved here and I applied for a job here and I got the job and I worked for about 6 years in a few different roles during that time. And then I was home for 6 years with my young kids. I have 4 wonderful daughters and now I've since been back in this role since May. And it's great to be back.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you back. Tell us a little bit about what every day looks like for you when you come into the office.
So yeah, I work in both finances and in HR. So finances is budgeting, monitoring the different budget lines, looking at financial controls, all of our different financial functions. And as well with HR is the typical HR things. There's hiring and recruitment, development, looking at different HR policies. So all those things in HR. Mm-hmm.
So you have 2 very different responsibilities, finances and HR. And today we're going to focus a little bit more on the financial side of things and talk a little bit about giving. So give us a basic overview of the financial picture here at Crossroads.
Yeah, so I would say the best place I would direct you is just to go to the website. So on the website, you're able to click on that on the Give section, and you can go down and you can see what our budget is. And it outlines the different ministries and sort of what their budgets are. So usually, typically in the spring, I meet with the different ministries and they sort of lay out what their budgets would be. And I must say our ministries have been so amazing at setting their budgets and keeping to their budgets during that time. And then normally that goes to our congregational meeting in June. But due to COVID, we didn't have the meeting. So instead, it went to the board and they passed an interim budget, and then that budget's going to go to the congregation in January for approval. So you can go on there and you can get details basically on all of our different budget lines on there.
Okay, great. Mm-hmm. And I know you wear the financial director's hat, but you definitely don't do this all by yourself. Maybe share a little bit about who helps you on the team.
Yeah, so I work with 2 wonderful ladies. So I work with Charlene Young, who's our accounting manager, and as well I work with Becky Amthor, who is our accounting technician. As well, there's oversight in that we have a finance committee. So we meet once a month. They have some staff members and as well some congregation members on our team. We look at the finances, we provide recommendations to the board, and as well the board looks at the finances each month. As well, we have a team that does offering counting. So they're a dedicated team that came every single week pre-COVID to count the offering, and they were an amazing team as well. So
okay, awesome.
Yeah.
You touched on COVID there a little bit. I just wanted to ask you about that. How has COVID changed the way you do things or adjustments you've had to make?
Yeah, things have shifted some. So we weren't meeting in person, and so a lot of giving was shifted to online. We have different digital forms of giving, and it was shifted to that, which was great. We really, really appreciated that. And as well, you'll see that on Sunday mornings, now that we're meeting again, things are a little bit different. So we don't pass the offering bag anymore. Instead, we have boxes in the vestibule, so giving can be put in those boxes on a Sunday instead.
Okay. Mm-hmm. How has giving been affected over COVID? Have you noticed a big change in giving overall?
Yeah, it has been a real blessing. So God's provision has really blessed us during this time.
Oh, awesome.
That it has stayed very consistent in our giving. So a really big thank you to everyone for really following God's lead and providing giving during this time, because I know there's a lot of financial hardship out there, and we just really appreciate that giving has stayed the same. It's been a blessing. So
that is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Maybe, Kendra, if you don't mind, give us a little bit of your perspective on the biblical side of giving. What does the Bible say that we're supposed to do to give?
Yeah, I find giving, it's exciting to talk about. So one book that I would really recommend is called The Treasure Principle, and it's by Randy Alcorn. So it's a great read. It's a short read, and it's easy to get through, and it has great biblical references in it. So I know when I read it, it was really transformational, and it really changed my picture about giving. So the book really talks about at the beginning that there's joy in giving, and I find when you look at it that you're actually a part of kingdom work and about things eternal. So when you're giving, you're a part of the kingdom work that God is doing, and that's really exciting. Absolutely. When you look at the different videos of the different ministries and what's God's doing in Central Alberta and around the world, we get to be a part of that through our giving, and that's really exciting. One thing that it talks about in the book is one of the principles it talks about is that God owns everything, and it talks about that we're kind of the manager of the money. So I know that my husband and I will look at it and we'll really pray and say, hey, God, like, what would you like us to do with this money? And really seek God in that and to say, it's yours, and how would you like us to give? And it's basically through relationship that we see God's transforming work, and we see him transform us and seek him in the giving. And it's exciting that we can be part of this kingdom work through our giving. So yeah.
Okay.
And as well, there's also some articles on our website that you can look at that they're great. They talk about giving and can give you some more perspective. So
Right. Okay. And I think that on the website, it's crossroadschurch.ca/giving, I think is the page.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And with that, we know that giving is important. Maybe can you share a few of the ways that people can give if they want to?
For sure. Yeah, we have quite a number of ways. I'm going to refer to my sheet just a little bit here. So, because there's a number of ways. So again, it's also on our website. So, and it gives you more details. So I'll just briefly go through them. So one of the ways is online giving. So basically it's bank payee. So you can go in and use that form of giving. You'd have to contact our accounts manager to get your account number. So you can use that method. There's e-transfer, which we just recently started. So giving through an email address. I just want to note to remember to put your name and your address so that we can provide a donation receipt if you give that method. As well, we have debit cards, credit cards that you can come in on a weekday during office hours and give in our Interact machine that way, or you can give on a Sunday using Interact machine. We also have direct payment from a bank account, so it's pre-authorized debit, and there's a form online that you would fill out, and then you would submit it to our accounts manager, and then you'd pick a date and the amount, and it would just automatically debit from your bank account. Then our last two is we still have cash and check, so you can give that on a weekday, or you can put it in those boxes on a Sunday morning. And as well, online giving. At that giving page, you can give right with your credit card on the page. So
Okay.
yeah, so quite a number of options.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah.
I know out of those options, there are a couple that on the financial end of things, it's easier, or your preferred methods. Maybe just touch on that.
Yeah, so there is actually fees for most of the methods of giving. So for example, giving with a credit card, on average, the fees are about 3%. Okay. So one of the ways that I would recommend that's a great way is the automatic debit. So the direct payment from bank account. So that's a great method that's easy to do, and it's low cost as far as fees go. And then the other two that are great are the bank payee, and as well e-transfers are great methods that I'd recommend. So
Okay, good. Well, Kendra, that's about all I had. I just wanted to, on behalf of the staff and the church here at Crossroads, we just really appreciate the job that you do. And it's a big job managing God's resources. So I just think you guys do a fantastic job, you and the team there. So thank you so much. And before I go, I just wanted to pass it over again. Do you have any last words you'd like to share?
Yeah, just again, a real thank you for the giving. It's amazing to see God's work through your giving, and I'm just really thankful for that. And as well, I'm here to serve, so feel free to contact me at the church about finances or HR anytime.
Great. Well, that's a wrap. We're going to close there. I just wanted to, again, invite anyone watching to just remember to pray for Kendra and the financial team this week, if you can think of them in your prayers, and we just appreciate all that they do. And thank you so much for joining us today.